from a cup of coffee with a mug that sort of says "World's Best Dad" on it. He has a pair of reading glasses, and he looks very tired. He's sort of in a room. Behind him, you can see sort of blinds with like the neon lights of some store outside. He's probably in some sort of tall office building. And he just sort of takes a little piece of cloth, puts down his coffee, and like wipes his sweat-filled brow. He looks tired as he takes his glasses off and sets them down. You know, letting the tape roll, basically. He says, so, I hope this is the right people. I used some old connections to get this thing up. You know someone, some of my people, and I thought it best that I contact you personally to make sure that you understand how things are going to be. You're kind, you are criminals. Technically, I'm supposed to just put you under arrest immediately with anything I could find, but we both know that that wouldn't really work out well for any of us. He sort of looks tired again, looking at some papers, holds up his glasses in front of his eyes. So here's how this is going to work. There are sometimes some people, maybe not too unlike you, in fact, whom I don't want to send my boys out to get. The Lone Stars are good for the street-level criminals, but your kind, he shakes it. No, we're no match for your kind. At times, I might have use of, well, people like you to deal with people like you. There are not many groups in this city that I can work with, because there are too many groups in this city who unnecessarily kill my boys. You have not done so far, and I appreciate it. I want to bring my thanks to you for that. He drinks a little bit again, leans up a little bit so you can see the star on his chest, showing that he's a definitely Lone Star. If you make sure to take good care of my boys out there, then maybe we can have a working relationship. I might sometimes ask you for something, and you might sometimes ask me to look the other way, or for a lift, or something like that. What I require is simply that you stay your hand, that you do not touch my boys, you do not make life difficult for them. There's enough of that out there already. They're not your enemies. They just work, they have homes, they have families. Just, many of you might not understand that, but I do. And I don't want any of them to be hurt. Yes, some of them take money from the wrong people. But they just do what they need to live in this world, to survive out here. I'm going to keep an eye on you. What I can, at least. And if you continue to behave as you have, then, well, perhaps we can work something out. You can contact me back on this line. And he reaches a hand over and clicks a button, and the little video message ends.
Okay.
What this is basically is that you have gained a contact. When you do a mission, there's entanglements. We roll and see who cared about what you have been doing, and then we see why. However, as you have no contacts right now, you basically gain a contact whenever you hit a category where you don't have one. This would be your first contacts, and contacts are generally quite good to have and quite important people, because they are people you can go to around your fixer for jobs or even help, which is something you definitely want.
So
He has connections of 3. And he is
law enforcement.
Yep, he is law enforcement.
Would have been
He's
amusing. Corporate contact.
a Lone Star. sergeant. And he is very happy that you haven't killed his people right now. Actually, this here should be a +1. Because right now his relationship with you is a +1, which means that he will in fact give you aid as long as it doesn't put him in danger or contradict his other desires in what he's doing.
He isn't loyal.
No, he's not. His loyalty level is +1. It goes from +3 to -3. -3 means that they're at war and that they're putting all of their resources in effect to kill you. +3 means that he will go out to extreme lengths to help you. As you do jobs, people who are affected will gain or lose loyalty. It is easier to lose loyalty than gain it. People trust you slower and are quick to distrust you when you kill their friends.
It's easy to lose trust, but hard to gain trust.
Yeah. So now you have him. You will most likely, for the next couple of missions, get a new guy or a complication with one of them when you do things. When you act against their faction, like say, if you go against and raid a police station, he might not like you that much because he is part of law enforcement. However, should you fight a lot of organized crime, which is his sort of opposed faction, then he might get to like you fast because he would appreciate what he does. He might sometimes, after a mission, if you roll a right entanglement, he might inquire you to help him. He is someone behind the scenes doing his own thing, basically. He has a progress clock for a thing he wants to do and influence the world with. This is basically what goes on behind the scenes, right? These people do things. And if you do something that helps him progress his mission, then he will also like you more and thereby be able to help you more. The hold here, there should actually be a dash here because he has a connections of 3. That basically means what his power level in the world is. 3 means that he is a guy that people know of in this city. 1 is very like on the street, you know of him. 2 would be you know of him sort of in the neighborhood. 3 is you know of him in the city. So people in Berlin would, like in law enforcement, would know this guy. That's his power level. If he was to bring people to bear upon someone, like his maximum amount of power he can draw upon, it would be about 45 police people that he could sort of pull out of a hat, should he desire it. And now he has made contact with you.
All right, cool. Seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
We have certainly tried our best not to kill any police officers, so...
We try our best not to kill anyone.
Yeah, we'd kill anyone.
But we've run in mostly into police, so...
Well, you know.
He probably doesn't feel as sympathetic to like elite corp forces as he does to the little guy on the street just doing his job, trying to get through the day, because that's what he does, and he knows that his people out there have a tough time, especially against people like you, because some groups don't give a fuck and just explode a building and raid the bank and break up prisoners and whatnot. And he doesn't like that, and maybe he needs people like you to deal with people like them. That's certainly something you could pay for.
I have a grenade
Legitimate
launcher.
work. The benefit to working for law enforcement is that they're not going to come after you for it.
That's right.
Bounties and the like are pretty much in the open when you work for the Lone Star, though they don't pay as well as, of course, crime would. There's something to be said sometimes for laying low by doing official jobs.
Well, you know, that is... I think, yeah, Joe is pretty happy with this. This is a very honorable way to choose.
Yeah. I also see that you have filled up your coins that you have available in your hideout. Something you could split up between you at this point, if you want.
Huge pile of money.
Have your 4 grand. 2 jobs worth.
So
2
how
jobs
much
worth of money.
could we use them for Anything in particular, or is it just when we level up and we then use them to upgrade things? Like
You would
how do
certainly
we...
use it when you level up your basically your hideout. You use it. Other than that, you can use it to bribe people. Say, if you really don't want to deal with like a security guard, you could be like, I just throw cred at his face, like take the money, and then he might just go, well, all right then, that's more than I get paid in a long time, so I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm going to go home, enjoy my money. So you can sort of use it almost as a get out of an annoying situation card with lowly functionaries and the like. And sometimes when you try to acquire an asset, expending coin can basically give you bonus dice to acquire it. Say if you're looking for something very, very cool, then you might be required to spend a certain amount of cred to acquire it, basically gain it. Beyond that, it's also your score. Your character is at some point going to either die or retire. And you need to basically begin building up your stash, which is the amount of money you invest into your bank account, into buying a house, into basically being able to live when you're done Shadowrunning. Because that's something that matters to you. You need quite a lot for that, though. So maybe not do that right now. Like to live a nice life, you need quite a heavy investment into it, because it's not nice to be poor.
I mean,
right now, if you retired, you'd basically be a man with nothing on the street, which is not a great place to be.
Sure, I'm fine for divvying up. I mean, we're running out of space anyways. We might as well take a coin each.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to spend it, and you can always stick it back in there. It's just where you have it.
Sure.
So everyone mark down 1 cred.
Yeah.
Why do we mark it?
On your character sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I don't have.
You have it there. Credit.
Yeah, but I don't have lines between my boxes.
No, it's on the other side. That's your cred. Each character can hold 4 cred, and your place can hold 4 cred until you get a vault, after which you can stuff a lot in there. And you can build a bigger vault to have even more stuff in there. Giant funds of just so much money.
Yes, we have 5 vaults full to the brim full of money.
Just safe. I just like to roll around in my money.
Mm-hmm. It's my money bin.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that was your entanglement, or your gaining of a contact, a +1 contact even. If you had rolled corporate, you'd probably have gained a person who was not so happy with you.
We know who you are.
Oh, you're a bureaucrat. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, sir. I have noticed that you're breaking into my stuff.
I have guns.
And we're like, ugh.
Shut prefers you to stay away from us now.
So,
We have set a bounty on you, so...
shut up, nerd.
Yeah. Our construction foreman hasn't been told us about you.
Yes.
You certainly
Damn
work
it.
for Seder Crib.
Damn it. Jeez.
Anyway.
Wounded.
Yeah. We now can talk a bit before we do the downtime. As there certainly is downtime to be done, you have to get your 2 actions. But there also is some camera footage and maybe some other things you would like to basically check out beforehand as the home part of this mission. Should you decide to.
Yeah, I certainly think we should look at the camera footage.
All right. Basically, the camera footage that you got was probably what you wanted to get, which is what happened in that server room. You basically see these people come in. There are 4 of them. There is a troll, a shaman dressed in a little bit of armor and then just a lot of like symbols and totems and that sort of thing. There is an orc dressed in heavy flak armor with like a machine gun, a big machine gun, like another machine gun on his back. Then there is you have a human, seemingly very, very lithe and dressed in sort of loose-fitting clothing. He's bald, and then you have the dwarven Fragmeister, who comes in his extravagant clothes and looking he feels super high and mighty, and he also has a few heels on his shoes to be a little taller, and he walks. Basically, he's almost dressed like a wizard as he walks in with his cyber deck, and he's his crazy half metallic head. Someone points at the camera. He flicks a wrist at them as they go over to begin typing, and he basically jumps into the system. The two others look at each other. It's probably the time where they talk about the stuff that you heard on his recording, as pretty quickly, like the bald man looks at the others, like gives them a slight nod as he then just leaves the room. A few minutes pass, and then basically all around, like a fog begins to appear, and then out of the fog just steps what appears to be like samurai warriors of mist. Clearly some sort of ghostly spirit thing going on, as they just like immediately begin to cut and stab, and the orc shoots his gun, just like loading out salvos. They hit some of the things, and they react. But the bullets just do fly through them as they just hammer into some of the servers and such. One of them cuts down towards the unconscious dwarf as the troll basically moves a hand over, and his body like flumps out of the way, but the cut instead cuts the cords that connect him to the like the server, as his body just begins to jitter and like spasm, basically, frothing at the mouth. As he's just laying on the ground, as they stab down into him, stabbing, cutting. The troll keeps just magically healing herself, and like another spirit of a bear like jumps out of her body and just begins to slash at these things. But eventually, even she's like put down, and yeah, like around other cameras in the that were in the room at the time, or in other rooms, you see similar things. These things just appear and just kill, like basically everyone in the building, indiscriminately.
So the desk as well, the elevator?
Yeah, just the elevator. There are two people like talking, probably on their way home, as to just appear two things in front of them and just cut them down. The things are there maybe for 3 minutes before they again just dissipate, leaving the building completely like full of dead people and just cut up people.
Well, we found what did it, that's for sure. This is not a problem we can handle.
No, but we did give our boss the evidence he wanted.
Sure did.
Let him handle it.
We'll probably make a file and send it to him.
It'll be compressed up in a lovely spider-type bow.
He will send you a message back
spiders.
that he needs to check things and needs to deal with something, and that you've done a very good job and that he's impressed. And he'll send back the cred.
Hooray!
Also,
Yeah, he is brief in his message.
Also, Manaki,
Mhm.
we ended up getting a whole bunch of like codes and stuff from the Fragmine system.
Yes, you did. With that, you can basically log into his own user interface. That's before been unavailable to you. And in there, you can certainly find some of his stuff. Like, he has some disturbing folders. He's certainly a man of particular tastes.
This one's being burnt. This one's being uploaded.
You can see his. He basically has been doing the. He has like some Johnson names that are code named things that don't really make sense to you because you never really met these Johnsons. You can see the job he was being paid for, the 4 million new yen, and how they, again, this has his bank as well, where he has fucking spent this on just luxury life for way too fast, seemingly.
Sure.
You can also find a dossier he has on his team, which includes himself, Fragmeister, or Golden God, as he likes to go by. He likes people to call him that. Then there is Ronya, which he has tagged here as Big Goat. She's a troll with curly horns and a what seems to be like a goat totem, a shaman, awakened clearly. Then we have Donald Schultz, an orc, generally has just lots of guns, working in the workshop making gun things. Here, his snarky remark is piggy tank. He's been tagged with. And then there is a Christopher Surf. And his one is pointless. Remarkably, though, his body was not found with the others.
I gotta say, did I see on the footage like where he went when he left the room?
He left the room, and if you follow him, you see that he left the building in a rather hurry.
So
kind of-
he survived. How did he survive? What did he survive the wounds? Wasn't he attacked?
He wasn't. Sounded like
He left before the attack.
I think he went to signal.
Yep. He's the traitor.
You know, I'll have that explicitly pointed out to our boss when I send up the huge package. Then I'll, like this is unusual. Like he left and then it started.
Sure. It will also say that he was a what you would call an adept.
Makes sense. Where's his appearance?
Piggy Tank was a bit of a just a gunman, really. He liked guns. A
Cute.
bruiser. Big Goat was their shaman, and Frackmeister himself was a golden god of the world of the Matrix.
Of course.
Now he's
a legendary hero come to save the world of those
Now-
poor unenlightened souls
Now he's a
who do not
fragment.
understand his true genius.
Now he's a fragmented bunch of shadows.
I just like the nickname Piggy Bank. Or Piggy Tank, even.
Piggy Bank would be their accountant.
It probably wasn't what the guy chose himself, but more what Frackmeister chose for him.
It's great, though.
I'm just saying. I think Piggy Bank is the name of their accountant. So don't worry.
Other than that, he seems to be quite like he has like screenshots of videos of him like demolishing people online, like hacking someone's computer and like fucking getting them arrested or something like
Oh,
that.
sure. Sure.
Because they disagreed with him on discussing something.
Do I?
If was it Arissa Starlight? If she was
Yeah,
hot or
basically,
not?
you would basically like someone says, "Oh man, that's crazy. She's like 15," and he's like, "Well, I'll show
Well
you
then.
15-year-olds," and then the guy got arrested. He seems to be a really toxic individual. That's for certain. Very bitter and just.
Do I find a picture of a certain golden knight somewhere in here?
Oh yeah, you find his avatar. Well, most of it, of course, would be in his mind, but there certainly are like shows of him
Yeah,
like doing stuff, riding around, like fucking
I can find footage of him.
saving the world, as he says. Beyond that, you also have access to his databases of stuff, though much of it won't make sense to you right now. You can maybe look up people in the future should you have particular people to look up.
Yeah, it could help. It could help us with research, is what I'm thinking.
He has lived a pretty long life, it seems, and has a lot of bullshit in here.
Some of this bullshit is being archived.
Also, a lot of pictures of his dog. There's a very cute dog.
No.
However, you don't really know where it went.
Oh.
Presumably with him on the mission, but it wasn't in the building, so maybe it was waiting in the car. Like,
The dog is kidnapped.
His stuff is his dog is a traitor.
The dog is the traitor.
His stuff is being split into 3 categories: useful data, dog pictures, do not touch.
do you delete any of it?
Possibly some of the things for his eclectic tastes, but we don't need that on the
His
system.
fandom and all the things that make you feel weird and like intrusive, as if you're looking at something you shouldn't. And,
Like we don't particularly need these on the system. They're taking up space.
Probably need to, you never know though. Like that might be a weird fan art picture of Arissa Starlight, but it might also have like a secret code in the background, So we need to analyze
this guy
that.
certainly was a top tier.
Come here, then.
That's
Come
for
here,
certain.
then. I'll put it in your data jack.
No, you can take a look at that.
You can have it in your mind.
Yeah, you put that in your mind.
Or I'll get a SimSense and I'll just plug it into you. You'll have fun with it.
My droids get weird.
Program your droids to be constantly playing into Starlight music.
Plank is gonna start swaying his hips when he walks around.
I made upgrades.
Hip accentuators.
Well, with that, you found out what went on there, at least.
Sure did.
Though the why might still be a mystery.
Why the mystery, but not what?
Yeah. So with that, perhaps we should do some downtime actions. If you have ideas for what you want to do.
Yes, I want to get rid of karma.
Yeah?
A
A
bit,
few of us, I think, want to wipe karma.
bit stressed out currently.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think we, apart from
So,
Shoe Warrior over here, I think we're all a bit stressed.
I mean, I'd be one for my limit on my stress if it wasn't using Fame Monster. So
Ziegler's gonna shut the door, put up a sign, "Do not enter," and he's gonna do some research.
just though, because this might be something you want to know. That the next mission your fixer is going to send you basically is that he would like you, due to this new information about what happened, he needs to reconnect with some people that might be able to help him, and for that he would like you to meet with the Duke and do a job for him, because apparently he needs someone who is human and unawakened, which this team is perfect for.
We have
one of the reasons he connected all of you. The Duke, well, none of you really come in his circles, so you probably don't know much about him, but the dossier and a quick check will say that he is the owner of the awakened club known as Bohemia.
Right.
He calls himself the Duke. Everyone calls him the Duke. It's a place where mages and shamans go to hang out in astral and be all cool and philosophical. Apparently he is Czech and has probably been to one of the Prague University, and therefore is probably very liberally minded in reference to like tolerance and magic and being awakened and yeah, very very liberal, those Czechs. Yeah, the Duke of Bohemia once has a job for you anyway, but he would like to deliver it to you personally, instead of working through your fixer.
So,
Are we
no
going
hu-
like, after our downtime, or are we going there like?
You're
halfway?
going there after your downtime. Yes, that would be your next mission.
so no humans is because he is.
No, you can work. You can be human. It's perfectly fine. Awakened simply means that they know magic.
Okay, so I thought you said you're all humans and not
Oh,
awakened.
yes, that is what he needs for. He probably has a lot of awakened people with him, but sometimes people who like to hurt metahumans and such get on his wrong side, and they usually watch out for people who are awakened or metahumans. Since you're all humans and unawakened, you would be perfect for a mission against such
Ah, I see.
I'll bring the grenade launcher.
I'll bring the katanas.
people. Basically, that's the idea, and
I want
it does seem to be a mission that is not quiet, though it will not involve anyone innocent either. He will like to talk to you personally about it, because
Finally.
he deals with people face to face
Grenade launcher.
when he can.
Finally.
So you have an invitation. Basically, you're sent an invitation to Bohemia, the Awakened Club.
I have a minor rules question for you, Manako.
Yes, sure.
When something specifies downtime, every downtime phase, does that mean like the start of 2 actions, or does it mean the start of every action?
A downtime phase is just the whole 2 actions.
Okay, just double checking, because I was partially curious because the cyber deck talks about how it clears all its stress at the start of or at every downtime phase. I was wondering if
That would be now, basically.
yes, as that is a
Because
free
you can-
it's a free action to do that.
Clean out its-
It-
Who
it's
calls
bad.
himself the Duke?
As
This
I-
guy.
as-
What
as-
is he, a fan of Moulin Rouge or something?
You know, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah,
I'm the Duke.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and plug my cyber deck in and clear its memory of all of this data.
Sure. Who wants to start with their downtime actions? Jonas, you sounded like you had a...
Yeah, I'm gonna lock the door, put up a sign, and say, "Do not come in here because I'm doing some damn research." Bloody kids.
Oh, look at the silencers, eh?
Bloody
That's
kids. I
the.
think we're all pretty adult.
That's
You're
the
young.
story. You haven't seen the war like I did.
You haven't seen the war that I did.
Miss Jones, we're going to spend some time with your family, correct?
Yeah, family time.
Yes.
You know, if you want
I'm
to talk
gonna-
about war, talk to True Warrior.
Gonna clear some karma. Doing some AI research.
All right. Well, you roll your lowest attribute.
Which is 1 for you, presence.
Yep.
And you get that much back.
Yay!
Oh, fuck.
Hey, I got that last time. I got a 1 and a 6.
All right. Well,
Yep.
there you go. You have 1 karma back.
It wasn't the most successful AI research session. Something was really wrong with the robot that kept bugging out.
You know, he's stressed out. Yeah.
It's better than a 6.
Can do it again, obviously.
I'm gonna work on the project.
Yeah, if you do it again, I promise you have a 50% chance of overindulging.
Yeah.
All right. You have an extra die to that
Hooray!
because of the cool parts you found. It's a 6, so that finishes 3 slots, which puts you to 4 out of 6 on the silencers.
You're nearly done at silent
These
death.
parts were pretty good, as it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Just what you needed.
Excellent.
It's coming along great. All right, who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Right.
You know, we just had a really successful mission. A really successful mission. And I went into the brain of a dead dwarf. I think you know what's coming here, Manaki.
You need to share that same sense, obviously, so other people can experience it and see what you saw with your eyes. Also, if the faces of your colleagues are there, whatever, these guys would never betray you, right?
Well, the face of my colleagues, those can be white. My avatar won't. My avatar will look just as genuine.
Yeah.
I'm the important one.
Mhm.
Okay, let's hope I don't overindulge for 6 again.
You need to
come.
stop. You need to stop this. We can't have this
Alright,
hacker in the
so-
group, guys.
So is that an overindulgence?
That's an overindulgence by 1.
I need,
All right.
we
So
need to deal
so
with
let's
you somehow.
see
Same
what
as
you
last
do.
time.
Let's see what you wanna talk big.
What was the options again?
Let me find it again.
Cut off your vice dealer no longer wants your business. Loudmouth is you brag and you take +2 heat. You stir up trouble, so you roll an additional entanglement that targets you. Reckless, you get into an argument with another group, so roll a fortune die to determine how it goes.
What's the page, Halldamir?
87. If you just type in 87.
All right.
Look then.
Yep, that is true.
Cut off loudmouth, reckless.
You can either be banned, or which means that you would have to later spend. Basically, you can't recover karma until you get a new vice dealer somehow, or
I have to go to a bar instead of jacking in online. No.
or you can brag about your run and get extra heat. You can stir up some trouble, and we would then roll more entanglements.
I think we can stir up some trouble by accident.
All right. Well, that is also not that terrible right now.
That's why I chose.
Because you don't have that many
Yeah.
contacts.
Exactly.
Someone's like, oh, you know, that's bullshit.
All right. Let's see here.
Faked. It's all CGI.
Let's see here. Who can you piss off online with this information here?
Yeah.
That would be someone corporate, wouldn't it? Because
You roll.
someone corporate who gets pissed off that you're acting like such a rebel.
It just says you roll additional entanglement, so it's like, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, but since we basically only have law enforcement contact right now, it simply means you get a contact with a -1 loyalty.
Okay. Someone who doesn't like us.
Yeah. I think that is going to be. Could you roll me a D2?
I can roll you a
I have
D2.
two things here that would make sense.
2.
All right. Well, then you happen to piss off Jens Snitzer.
I just realised I'm exactly like the other dwarf, by the way, constantly causing problems for the group.
Well,
Never-
you know, that's what Deckers do, right?
Can we
They,
add-
they
yeah, can we
never
add-
fucking.
Can we add rule 4? Prepare to clean up after the decker.
Yeah.
God damn it! Why won't it just stay on one line?
We can. I might be fixable.
He doesn't like you very much because he has found out what you're doing.
I kind of
and,
bragged.
He's not into it.
Who is he?
He is a local administrator at Evo.
Oh, god damn it. Well,
Have I received a rather threatening email or something?
Basically, yeah. You will have been like tagged, and tracing that tag, you can trace it back to Evo having apparently gained a look at you, and they will probably be keeping an eye on what you're doing and what you're getting into, and they certainly aren't happy with you. This guy specifically seemed to have made it his little personal mission right now to deal with the problem that you and your people represent. Though you specifically, since you were the person he actually found because of all your bragging. He's like, wait, this is those Seder Krupp. These guys are involved in that. Well, seems like they're a threat to good business in this city. So I should probably get some people to deal with that.
Well, my goal is getting fame or infamy with my avatar. I suppose.
doing a good job.
GG.
It is
I guess.
so funny. You
All
made
right.
this.
Well, you also cleared all of your stress or your karma, so
I did, which is good.
you know. And you have an
now-
extra contact now.
Yay!
He's more
Now, I think-
powerful than the other one, but you know.
You know, maybe we
doesn't
can
like
maybe
us.
we can make it up to them if we help the corpse someday. Good joke, right?
Yeah, work for Evo.
Right. So, with my other action, Manaki,
Hmm.
I wanted to potentially do something which we hadn't really talked about how we do it. I want to reduce heat.
All right. That's
From-
certainly something you can do.
From Ashley's perspective, the way I imagine her doing it essentially is basically trying to wipe data about us specifically, like not the story itself. The story still exists, but wiping data they have on us, like what we look like, etc. You know, trying to scrub it from the system, make it more difficult for them to track us down.
Hmm.
They don't need to forget us. They need to not be able to trace. They not be able to get to us.
Sure, you can try to reduce your
So
heat.
how does this work? We've never done it before, so.
Well, to reduce heat, you would, well, the way you do it basically is you need a contact within that circle, which you can have to help you reduce heat. You need a neutral contact you can pay to reduce heat, or a positive one that will help you reduce it by themselves.
Okay.
Then you would roll the strength of that contact as they help you get rid of it.
Okay.
Right now, you don't really have a positive
That's true.
corporate contact. So the corporations will not. No one's there to help you sort of take the files away or do something like that. You could of course do a run at some point to do it if you have very lot of heat. So it might pay off to go and delete your own things. But that's probably more if you have actually wanted levels.
Okay, so we just can't do it. Is that what I'm hearing?
Right now, you can't do it with corporates. Yeah, because
Okay.
the only guy you really know is this guy who pissed off at you.
Okay. Okay, I tried. I wanted
Yeah,
to-
I mean, you know, your heart was in the right place.
Okay. In that case. One of the others can take an action while I consider what to do with my other action then.
If you want to see your downtime actions, go to page 88.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of them, and you can always like do a train if you really don't know what to do, giving you basically one experience for a playbook or a skill. It's generally the least interesting thing, but you know.
Well, I know that I need to indulge in Vice's Vice. Because
To go get some drugs.
yeah,
Right, let's see if you overindulge as well.
Let's fucking hope not. So,
I mean, I've overindulged twice now.
what are we looking for?
When I had
4
1
or
in 6
below?
shots both times.
You would be using 1 die.
Or
for
5.
overindulging.
Fuck.
Yes, you overindulged by 1
Overindulged.
die.
Alright, you overindulge. You clear all your karma.
Alright.
And then you get to pick how you...
What? So, do you want to stir up some trouble? I mean, at least your one doesn't auto-target the corp. I don't think. Hopefully. You add heat.
I hope not.
Like, you'd probably upset like organized crime, I imagine, since it's drugs.
Maybe.
Yourself a crime boss. That would you? Well, you know, you can also attract some heat, or you know,
That's what I was kind of thinking with like the attracting heat.
a little bit of crime heat. You know, never a
Crime
bad thing.
heat, a little bit of crime heat could, yeah.
You sold out. You need to. You go and like and take it from someone that was reserved for someone else, but you just need it that much.
Or you got caught by you almost got caught by some cop with some drugs.
It could be law enforcement heat as well. Yeah.
Oh, I don't get heat with law enforcement.
Well, I know what to do with my action then. Clear the.
Oh yeah, there we go. That could work.
Hmm.
Yeah, that would. Oh yeah. Loudmouth would work. Yeah.
So you want heat with law enforcement then?
I mean, Dark. If you want to do the.
I mean,
hell, I could even do it.
You're
to be
grabbed
honest.
in a bust in between
you
getting your.
Or you could do it. Yeah, you could certainly clear it, and then say I could try gathering information potentially or something.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So with law enforcement then. Yeah.
Right. And add 2 heat with law enforcement.
Why would you do that?
As
we can
they have a
fix it
file
now.
on you that says you're a druggie and
Yeah.
Oh
that
no.
you bought, possessed,
It's fine.
strong narcotics.
Because
No.
then my next action would be
Very
to reduce that heat with the law enforcement.
Want to call up your guy and be like,
Then by
hey,
positive contact with that faction, we have a positive.
could you?
Could you
We didn't kill your friend, so now that I have snorted all of this coke, could you get me out of this cell?
All right.
It's
Well,
like,
yeah. You would
What
then
is
You
roll.
don't have any
You would roll his connection level,
Okay.
which is 3.
Alright, so is that
Power
me rolling it then?
levels. Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Basically
3
calling him and
die.
Be like, hey, could you? I need to not be on the drug record. That would really help me not kill these cops that are coming to get me.
Yeah. Let's see. 3. Only 1.
All right, a 3 that reduces the heat by 1, so he's able to remove some of the trace of you being druggy. Probably a little disappointed, but you know you're elite criminals, so
Like this is
at least you didn't murder the people who went to like look at you with drugs. You weren't like stabbing them in the throat as soon as they found you. You know,
Dude, this is just a minor blemish on the record.
it's
That's all.
nice.
Yeah.
You know,
Only
they're a little bit of a law enforcement thing, but it's not something that you're not wanted. They don't actively looking for you. It's just there's information on you in their system.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
All right.
We're gonna get to like wanted 5 of the corpse.
When you have wanted 4, that's the they are here. Like send the helicopters, get them. They're terrible people. Tanks in the street. Level of being wanted.
Once we've done that, we know we've been successful.
Yeah.
You know, certainly. Need to kill quite a lot of court people to get that point.
Well, it seems we're almost at 1 already. So.
Here.
I guess that just leaves.
That's your 2 actions.
Yeah. Just leaves
We have
Tina.
Chew Warrior, and we have the AzureWeb still.
I still have 1 action left to consider.
Found something to do, Dark?
Mm,
You can
considering-
karma indulge again if you want.
yes, I should clearly car indulge it. No time.
Like just
0 karma.
failing immediately. Yeah.
You see, I should get us all the negative contacts. Then we'll at least have someone for everyone. No. It's music.
Well, I'll train then.
All right. You can only do it once per downtime per track, but
What do you want to train in?
What are you training?
Ding.
You can either train up your playbook XP, or you can train up for one of your logic, mind, or logic, body, and presence.
Well, what are you thinking, Dark? Did you have a thing?
I'm considering about trying to gather information, but I don't know what to get information about. Is my question. Is the reason I've been kind of thinking.
All right.
Yeah, that's the problem. We don't really have the
we don't
mission.
We don't really know what our next mission is. One thing that comes to mind, of course, is I do have this. I do have a. You did say there's like information on this computer which I still haven't decoded.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a long-term project.
So I could start.
Sounds like a long-term project, yeah.
Yeah, I could start data mining from it potentially.
Mm-hmm. Discover further functionalities.
Yes. Unlock the secrets of the computer.
Is that what you want to do? I can tell it to be a 6 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if
like the silencers, basically.
Yeah. If it's, I'm sure there'll be some interesting outcomes. Sure, I'll start data mining and stuff.
Right, a long-term project then. How do you start this data mining? What do you do to crack it that you haven't done before?
Well, for the originally, she had just kind of looked over it and tried doing some basic logs into it, and he had rather strong security, as you kind of pointed out.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing to say the least. Mm-hmm. But I could, with her various bits of information, I imagine she's doing a combination of essentially going into the matrix and to kind of talking to people about different strategies for breaking through different kinds of security, and then probably cold simming into it and trying to find out what's try to break through all the ice in the way.
Sure. Well, it's more like you've seen the first Harry Potter movie, right?
Okay.
Like down in the chamber of like down in the chamber down the bottom of the castle, there's like a big dog on a door, and then there's like chess. It's that kind of shit he's put in there for you to deal with. Like all these stupid games, right? Mm-hmm. That you have to somehow get through and beat him at.
I essentially got tons and tons of puzzles I have to beat here.
Yeah, and lots of memes as well, and all the time being super obnoxious about it.
But I imagine a large part of this then might also be like going onto the matrix and like basically crowdsourcing of, hey, anyone who got an idea how to beat this? Oh,
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure. What you can do.
So how would I roll? Like my electronics for this?
Sure.
Okay.
A 6 gives you 3 hits on it. So that means you were pretty effective. Unlock the secrets.
She was just in his brain.
Of the frag machine.
She was just in his brain, so...
That is the name of the thing.
I just realized that I rolled a dice too little on mine.
Oh, well, roll the other one now then. Yeah, if you get a 6, I guess, then...
And that's what I mean, I might get...
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope, alright.
It was worth a try.
Yep. Got a pretty damn good roll already.
Tick, 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 tick,
yep.
tick.
Alright. Tina, do you find out what you want to train?
I was gonna think athletics, but I think I want to go in biotech.
That is not how you train. Basically, when you train, you put one in one of the.
These.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when they fill up,
didn't you do a desperate roll this session? You did one to knock out that guy,
yes.
right?
Yes, which would be one body.
When you do that, you get to put an X in one of those boxes. Yeah.
I forgot. Logic or maybe I'm gonna do it.
You want to train body, all right?
So I choose.
Do you have another action?
Um.
You could train something else, or you could do something,
Well, if I just said I could only do it once per.
You can only train body once.
Oh.
Yeah. You can train one of the other tracks.
And I'll do one logic.
All right. Once later, you with your when training begins to become cool. Right now, it's kind of very slow. When it becomes really cool, is when you begin to unlock the training facilities for your stronghold, which makes you get 2 experience per training.
How do we get? Oh, then I have to.
When you level up your stronghold, basically, you can select them as specialized upgrades. Basically, some build like a training lab for something. like a dojo, something like that. You
I
can,
want a dojo.
you can become better at it.
Right now we only get the Doge up in the hacker.
I imagine,
Not
Uh,
much Shadowrun.
Yeah,
Chore
much
just
Shadowrun.
sitting here
Such meme.
trying inner peace. Inner peace. And then there's just all this drama.
The
Like,
the late
oh,
the la- the late the latest memes to show off
Yeah,
include the following, and it's a picture of lovely Vice next to a certain mortician.
want to see the stiff question mark as the caption.
Yeah.
And Vice is arriving to and fro in the safe house in an ambulance as usual.
That concludes our first real sort of standard setup session of our Karma in the Dark here. That was what we were going to go through, and it took us pretty much 4 hours at a comfortable pace, I think.
What?
Now we just need to do experience.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, this is the last thing, and probably also one of the more fun things, I think. At least a little exciting,
yay.
isn't it? So I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you've tacked your desperate actions along the way. I don't think we've had too many of them yet. That might change next session. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I made 2 of them, which I've marked down.
Well, you certainly did have a lot of breaking. So I suppose we'll start with what was that? We'll start with DDS.
As we did last time.
Yeah, because you're the front person. You have the first sheet.
I did it in alphabetical order.
So did you overcome a challenge with deception or evasion?
This session, I don't know if I did actually overcome one with deception or evasion, my own. The group did, most certainly.
That's fine. If you
Okay,
did
that's
it
fine.
as a group action, that's still fine. You participated.
Because we technically evaded out of the hospital, or tried to.
Yeah, I think so. What do you guys think? This is supposed to be a group thing where we all help each other.
Yeah. I
Sure,
can agree with that.
we snuck around.
I think that's an experience.
Okay.
All right, and then we have, of course, did your background or flaws come up in any significant way?
I don't have any flaws, and Bob, no, the background still hasn't really popped up in any significant way.
Yeah. Your vice?
My Vice caused trouble again.
That is true.
Got us beat.
Yeah. I mean, I think it caused trouble.
I accumulated much more heat than before, so.
Uh-huh.
And
And now you have a guy who's out to get you.
Mm-hmm. So,
I'd probably say you could take one for that too. Yeah.
I'm causing problems.
All right.
Wait, why am I celebrating this? This is a bad idea.
Let's move on to Halldamir.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Did you overcome a challenge with social grace or leadership?
I would think so.
I agree.
I certainly agree. Yeah, definitely. Quite a lot, so actually.
Mm.
Yeah, we did a lot of that.
All right. Did your background come up in a significant way?
No, don't think so.
All right. What about your vice and flaws?
I mean, my vice kind of gave us heat, so
It did.
it's a thing.
Probably I think we'd reward too much, but I think for this time, I think we should get one for that.
She became a druggie. She pissed. She's slightly annoyed our new contact.
Yep.
We noticed it basically.
Yeah.
We noticed that you're a drug addict.
You got caught.
Got caught.
Rahal, if I can call you that.
You can, yes.
Yeah. Did you overcome a challenge with knowledge or experimentation?
I don't know. I investigated a crime scene, but
I think.
Yeah,
but
that might
I-
be knowledge
I would
based.
certainly say you did.
Right. Well, if everyone thinks you did, then you did.
Gain XP.
I
yay.
could be an ass, would be a no, not at all.
Screw you.
No, you did.
Background. Did that
Not
come up?
really.
Should I call your ex-wife?
Your history is.
He played a doctor.
I mean, the thing is, it's just if we like the first experience you get for it is if we noticed it. The second experience would be did it like dominate basically, and I think we noticed it because like when you stealthed out of that place, it was a military.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
like
I'd
that was.
like to kind of bring this
I
up.
think that was pretty came up pretty quickly. That,
Mhm.
and we did hear sometimes your relationship with Russians wasn't awesome. And,
Nope.
so I think that came
Yeah.
up.
I think it came
Okay,
up.
sure.
Gain more XP.
Then I need to know if your vice or flaws came up.
I don't have any
And we did-
flaws.
We did notice that he was doing like AI research, right?
Yes.
We did. He certainly did some AI
Not in a
research.
huge
Definitely
way,
did.
so it's probably. But at the beginning, I think it's it came
have
up more than it has before. So yeah,
Yes. that's
Okay,
kind of-
sure.
so let's give one for that too.
Hooray.
You caught up to me on XP. No, I must go. I must break more stuff.
No,
Tina,
please don't.
did you overcome a challenge with threats or physical mastery?
Yes.
I did.
You knocked out a
Punch the poor guard again.
Yep.
Yeah, but
signature move.
Yes, the punch.
And there's like when we get to like the 100th episode, we'll have 100 knockout shots. It's
well,
in a
it's
row.
because
Spark.
none of them have
yeah,
been.
no. The thing is, it'll be the anniversary cut that Ashley will make, which will just involve like tons and tons of videos of her punching.
Completely like breaking everyone's stealth.
Are you filming me while I fight?
No, because I don't have cyber
No.
eyes.
No.
Not yet.
That's a long term cyber eyes.
Okay, sure.
Anyway, did your vice or flaws come up?
I don't know if that's a vice that I was like, nah, we shouldn't take this poor guy's stuff.
That might be more background.
Yeah, I think that's more of a
Oh, background.
That's more a samurai background. I think coming up from that.
Yeah, like honorable samurai thing.
Yeah. But
I heard you speak of honor at least.
yeah.
And we kind of brought up referring like the Japanese. You know anything about
My
it?
honor. And you like stabbed AzureWeb in the throat. I remember that.
Then I
you
stabbed
should take
him
one
with
for
my
that.
great sword.
Yeah, that's like my that's the
Take an
favorite
experience
part.
for that too.
For what?
Oh.
For your background.
Oh. I thought we were still talking
an
about my
honorable samurai.
vice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Your
we
voice,
were, but-
your voice hasn't really you haven't really cut anyone to pieces yet for your karma.
Well, that's not what my vice is.
It's vengeance.
It basically is. Yeah.
like going to a shrine or something like that.
I
You haven't really gained that much karma yet.
Well,
no,
not this
I
one.
only have 2.
It's good. It's
On
what you wanna
the
do.
other hand, though, you don't need it when you're punching.
Succeeding and letting the others take the shots.
Well, I would like to take some shots, but I can only take shots while I can take
Yeah,
a
when
shot.
things go bad. Well,
I mean, you could totally try to talk to the
some
mortician if you
missions
want.
are investigation based. Some are
But
not.
Chu is not that much into being just, trying. It's not about trying. It's about
It's about doing.
succeeding.
Mhm. I've heard that.
Yeah.
Heard that said.
So the team, you did a successful mission. So you get
Go
an
team.
team experience with that. What is this cat even doing?
And it's your experience mark.
You get a team experience for that. So did we boost our subtle reputation? Were we being
were pretty-
subtle this mission?
We were pretty subtle.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
think we were.
no, I mean,
I think so.
No one
Yeah,
died.
If anything, it would be because of our decker that
Yes.
hacks everything. But I think that's more a personal thing than a team
Yeah.
thing.
and I
Like the team wouldn't be known for that. She would be known for that.
yeah, and
I need to.
I think the bigger thing for that is the fact that also they didn't realize we were in there until we had been gone.
Yeah.
Listen, young Missy, you're grounded for a week. No internet, and he pulls the cable and hides it.
That would be the experience of that.
Not
As
exactly you.
for rep, well, these guys were above your level by a significant margin. So we can probably stick that to a 4 rep,
God.
which would be able to put your hold to be better.
Yay.
Which would mean that you would need to
Okay, count
pay your tier, which right now is 0, so it will cost you nothing. but we would change that F would basically change to an S. And that is because you're hold on being Shadowrunners right now. Because if you go down below that, your fixer basically would cut you off and be like, you're not Shadowrunners, you're horrible failures. But so far, you have done his missions correctly. And so you have gone from a weak hold being basically, okay, you're trainees, to strong, to firm hold, which is good. Yeah, you have some leeway. Now you're strongly a level 0 group, which means that that when you level up your rep again, you will level up your fixer connection or get a better hold as well. Basically, he'll begin giving you better jobs.
Okay, sure.
And now you can fail 2 missions before he's going to kick you to the curb.
Great.
Yeah.
We haven't failed so
Isn't it? Or mess up or gain too much heat or something like that. If you gain too much heat on a mission, then he will also not like it.
AzureWeb, you need to stop giving people spiders.
Not killing people certainly helps a lot.
Sorry, what was that? Sorry, what was that? As I suddenly turn around and suddenly see that.
Did you stick spiders into like the thing we gave him? Like he's like, oh, and a present from the team. It's like, oh, and the opens it up. Oh God, it's spiders everywhere.
Remember how Manaki said that the data I received was like in all like 80s bound up present.
Yeah.
He got one of those. He got a spider version of that, which
yeah,
it's
like,
it's
up
not visible until you log into like sim space, and then there's just like spiders all over your body. Like no matter what you do, just crawling there,
like small
you
spiders
into your mouth,
with like,
just like
with like a cane and a top hat dancing, you know, for you. It's a bitsy spider, and they like attack you.
There's a dancing spider holding up a sign saying you're welcome.
Yeah. So this
Get 'em,
session we've
boys.
certainly gained a bit more experience. No one's leveled up yet, but we're getting there. We have gained some contacts now. Again, a little bit more money. We gained a pretty strong hold on the fixer connection. We have. So next time we gain that rep, it will level up, which still is gained a lot because when you're group 0, turns out that most mecha corporations are a lot above 0, which means you get a lot of damn rep for dealing with them because right now nobody knows your name, and they are hearing about it, which is good. You're making connections, getting experience, you're getting money, and hopefully also having fun. Yeah. I hope I don't hold your hand too much with regard to the rules of what you can do or cannot do.
I mean,
I think you're holding our hand enough for us to be able to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said to chat though, two out of 2 overindulged. Let's see how many in a row I can do
You
this.
certainly have been rolling a lot of 6s at inopportune times. That's like the only time you don't want them.
Yeah, and I've rolled. But like both times, the thing is, the only time I could have failed was a 6. What did I roll? 6.
Yep.
She really wants to be famous.
Really wants to be famous, man.
Really wants to be famous.
I just can't wait to be king.
Yeah.
That's just
Someday
playing on
all
the-
of this will be mine.
I will be the Spider Queen.
Call me a little nary. Yeah. Anyway, that certainly was the mood that Fragmeister was in.
You see how well
Don't become the
It's
fragmeister,
a heck.
please.
It's a Decker thing. When you become so good that you can summon money out of thin air and like make people's drones kill them and stuff like that, then suddenly you begin to feel like you just can't be touched by anything, right? You forget that when you're logged in, someone can literally just cut your throat while you're laying there.
Or say cut your cables.
Yeah, which is not something you want. Definitely not. Very painful. Very horrible. Yeah, and your fixer is basically sending you to a mission, and he'll get back to you perhaps if he knows something that's relevant to you from the information you're giving him.
I was rather terrified though because I did 2 desperate actions that could have got me seriously hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, desperate actions are a way to level, but they also carry with them great risk, of course. Some missions, like they more often happen when things begin to go wrong, obviously. And you haven't really had that happen yet, because your current missions have been very, very well executed, I should say, and controlled in their behavior. You haven't really gone for like a chaos creation scenario yet, being subtle and doing things well. But
when we do that, we'll drive a car full of flaming spiders into their faces.
Yeah, you know,
digitally and physically.
That could be a mission. We want to, like, work with the anarchists and blow up a statue. Because
I can do
that, you know. And then we want to kidnap the bank CEO and throw him out from a helicopter or something like that. You know, why not? That's certainly would be.
Actually want to
have a lot
kidnap
of
a
bad
princess.
things. That probably would have a lot of desperation that's attached to it. But the game certainly, it's a lot about gambling. The rules in general, you can almost always choose to get more dice by paying something. You know, by making, because when you do, like, for example, push yourself, you gain karma, which then makes future resistances and like more risky of actually knocking you out and beginning to permanently harm you.
That's one of the reasons I was getting worried, because I only had 4 boxes left. It's like if I roll too high, I could kill myself.
Yeah. So generally, as long as you have a decent amount, like as long as if you have no karma taken, you're good, right? Nothing is immediately gonna like knock you out or defeat you, because your character is completely fresh and has all the resources in the world. But it is also the thing that makes you able to do awesome stuff. So you want to spend it to do things great. And I think that so many of you were reducing your karma after this means that you have spent it well. Like, actually spend it to succeed on things. Or not, or like dark things, not have your mind split twice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. In my case, it was far more. I was more on the defensive with spending mine, though I did use it for boosting as well.
Yeah, you did roll well in your resistances, I believe.
That helped. I rolled 2 complete resists. I believe. No, I rolled 1 complete resist and then a 1 karma resist.
Yeah. We have had a lot of complications as results of rolls. While, for example, in combat, most of those complications might be like getting shot instead of like something else going on.
Yeah, I also didn't want to lose my. I also didn't want to like break my cyber deck, but that would have been particularly terrible.
And, there might be some when the Duke asks for people who can pass from not being. Yeah, I mean there might be some stuff with weapons and the like going on next time. I think that much is said. Though it's not exactly wet work, it's kind of wet work, I suppose. Maybe Duke wants a chance to convince you to do it. Who knows?
Also, a nice thing for Jonas at least is he also hasn't had to fix his drone jets, which has been nice.
Yeah, they haven't broken. They haven't been shot either.
Because in the event they get broken,
they have been stressed a little bit, which is how you use them, right? To assist you in all sorts of ways.
The same as I used it while I was in my hot sim, though.
You know, because Rigger's got a rig.
Rigger's gonna rig. Decker's gonna deck. Tine's gonna punch.
I think the Rigger is very versatile because you basically have those extra assists to a lot of things. They're like 2 drones. They can actually do quite a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
The combat drone mostly assists with combat, obviously, but that's
not
bad either.
Yeah, the point is like though, if in the event he gets they get injured, he's gonna have a fun time because he has to then repair them manually.
Yeah, that's downtime.
Which it takes 1 action to repair it by amount depending on how much you roll.
Yeah.
He's
a 2 engineering though. It should be okay.
1 to 3 you repair 1 damage, 4 to 5 you repair 2 damage, 6 you repair 3, and if you roll double 6s you just repair everything.
I need more engineering. That's what I've learned.
What I'm hearing is I need to get more XP so I can level up my individual programs.
Yeah.
They're only at 1 dice programs right now, meaning I want
that piloting.
That's what I need. That's what I need.
What I'm learning is, I think, first impressions will be the next thing.
No.
The playbook.
First time you meet someone and try to influence them, +1 die. I mean, you do meet a lot of people for the first time.
Oh yeah.
You do these missions because a lot of them are not important enough for you to meet them ever again. Like, when are you ever gonna go meet that mortician again?
Let's hope never.
Except for that date you arranged. But,
we get another mission at the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, hi again.
Gearhead is probably something I'll pick up.
It's kind of fun to look at what
what's
things
Gearhead
you
do?
get next time.
I add my logic attribute to any piloting check I make.
Oh, that's pretty
gosh.
cool. I get Ashley to find whatever Aztec teen pop star that is, like her number somehow, and
You wanna-
give
you
that
wanna-
to the
pick her up.
mortician instead.
Yeah,
Funny
just, like,
enough,
make her life shit.
Yeah.
Funny enough,
That's the number you give out to everyone.
Yes,
who you
exactly.
give your number.
Yeah. It's like, well,
You think you're so hot and so young and so cool?
just give it a couple
Do you
years.
remember that?
Is
Do you
this
remember what
grown
a cer-
woman being pissed at
Do
this
you remember how a certain
15-year-old
dwarf
idol?
got in contact with a certain pop star?
Vice, that's
Oh
a lot.
yeah, like if you could get her number through the Fragmeister's computer, like he has it in there.
Yeah, we give
With,
Oh,
like
yeah,
her
we
emails
totally
and her
could do
personal
that.
emails and her real name and stuff like that.
Oh my god, that's happening now.
Stalker material.
Mhm.
No,
Oh my
she's gonna
God,
be
it's
one of those
happening.
grudgy ex-girlfriends. You just sit on like Facebook and just get so pissed at all.
She is the worst. I hear that
my
all
God.
sorts of bad things about. Yeah,
the
vengeful. She didn't want to be there anymore,
No.
but she still feels jealous.
Yeah.
Here's-
Um,
right?
yeah,
Terrible person.
one of the things I'm looking at as potential options, for
Yeah.
example, is stacked deck, which means I can sacrifice two of my karma, which my karma's going up and down all the time as it is anyway.
Yeah.
So in the event, whenever we do our initial, what do you call it?
Engagement.
Yes, our engagement roll, I can force it to reroll.
Huh.
So if we do terribly, I can actually was up.
I nerded out a bit more than that. Yeah.
I was ready for this. Also, I'm tired.
Yeah. I imagine we all are. We're at midnight.
Well, midnight for you.
I hope you had fun.
I enjoyed the session.
Yeah, I can talk for a little longer, but you're won't hold you here.
Against
We'll play again next week. Dark, you wouldn't be here.
Ashley will be going to a
like Renraku's CyberCon.
pretty much, yeah.
Like 2077.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's just a must-be place for an upcoming Decker.
Mm-hmm. She needs to share off some of the things she's got, and at the same time, she's going to be running away from a certain corporate person who's chasing her.
That's true. Maybe the team kicks her out of the safe house for a while.
Like
need to go and
Don't
fucking
come back,
deal with that
this guy
shit.
is looking for you.
You know, it's fine. I'm going to go to the con. Basically, the first week while I'm
Make
not
some
here.
contacts, make some friends.
I like this. I like this actually. So the first week I'm not going to be here as a player. I'm going to be at the con. The second week is I'm going to be running away from the guy from Evo who found me.
At the con.
Yep, you ran into him and in the booth to the Arisa Starlights, signing her new album. He was in the queue as well, and you're like, you.
And exit stage Shadowrun.
I mean, maybe Angel, your girlfriend, would also like to hang out a little bit, like,
That is also true. I
in
mean,
between
she's-
your dangerous, life-threatening missions.
Yeah.
She's coming to the con too, right?
Yeah,
She wants
sure.
some
Not
downtime,
really
yeah.
a decking person, probably.
But she likes to cosplay.
But yeah,
She likes to cosplay.
why not? Why not? Why not?
I can see it. So
Most of the cosplayers that bring back
I'll say
the
this. Yes, taking angels and dates as well.
Yeah.
Yo, I have some cred here.
She cosplays as an undercover investigative cop
She's the best.
looking for troublesome individuals.
Oh, spiders got this cred.
Yeah, that's going to be Ashley for the next few weeks. Hope you guys don't do too badly with your taking on of spirits. And stuff. Good luck.
Well, with that said, I'm gonna end the stream here.
So am I.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week for 13th Age and more Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
All right.
Bye.